What's up there? How you doing today? Just wanted to tell you a little bit about my day. I went to Melbourne. Went to the beach, did everything, and I had a great time. I thought about camping out there to see the sunrise the next morning. I really wish I did that. Like I scouted out a spot Friday night, find a spot to put my hammock and try to stay the night there. That would have been really fun. It would have made the day more, you know. Could have gotten trespassed though, so I see that risk. But it would have been worth it because I wanted to see the sunrise. And unfortunately, the sunset on the east coast to Orlando area just doesn't work. You have to be on a coast. East coast or west coast. East coast for sunrise, west coast for sunset. If you don't know that, you should learn that. The only way for a good sunset is to be in an area where water is the only thing in sight to the sun, in between you and the sun. As long as there's flat water that is in between you and the sun, then there's a nice sunset. Otherwise, you just see trees. Okay, it's okay. I mean, it's alright. You have to be on the coast to really feel it, though. And it's quick. It's a time that passes in an instant. 30 minutes, less. Then it's gone. We don't have many sunrises and sunsets in this world. So once you see one, I hope you appreciate it. I'm talking about the special ones. But, I guess what I was trying to talk about today was isolation. I feel like even when I'm around tons of people, I could be drinking with a couple buddies, spending time with my family, friends, coworkers. Over the course of time, I've met a lot of great people. And I thought I fostered strong connections with them. People that are pretty close to me. I mean, they're close enough to spend time with. And I guess I'm an optimist, or maybe I have my hopes up a little too high. But I see myself being pulled away from people a lot. And then that's kind of a paradox in and of itself, because if you are feeling like you're isolated from your friend group or just your friend in general, or they're not asking you out to go with them, and they're not saying, hey, let's go do this, and it can start to feel like you're on your own. And then in it of itself means you're less likely to be social with people because, well, who cares? They're going to leave you anyways. Maybe I have abandonment issues. But the point is, well, I'm making this from the casting couch, we're all a little bit lost in life. I know everyone probably stares in the mirror, cries themselves to sleep at night, but not me. I would never do that. Lately, no matter if it's a weekend or weekday or day at work, these days are becoming monotonous, and when my alarm goes off in the morning, it's torture. When I get to work and I hear the same stuff, the same jokes from the same people, it's like knives in my side. Quite frankly, nothing is worse than that. I feel enslaved to it. But then on my day off today, I went to Melbourne. I set up my hammock. I swam on the seashore for some time. Let the waves hit me pretty hard. Had some fun with that. Went down the beach for as long as possible. Like, walked real far. And hung out in my hammock. And then I snacked around for a little bit. Walked around back and forth between my car and the beach. Did a couple more things. Climbed some trees. And that was it. I knew I was doing it solo, and I knew it was going to be a little bit lonely. I always am alone, but I did push off a family gathering for this trip, and you should never do that. I think I would have had a better day with the family trip overall. But I had to do something for myself, and I had to do something away from everyone. The only problem is I don't know what makes you social. I don't know what kind of drug does that that's not inebriating, like alcohol. I mean, I'm talking about I need the drug to be social, whatever that is. Because I've never thought of myself as an introvert, and I actually think that some people would classify me as an extrovert, because I say a lot of random stuff, but it's only a cry for attention because, well, I get none. And to stay relevant in this world, whether it's on YouTube or between people, it seems like the only thing that I'm able to do is just say the most whack stuff ever. I've met a lot of really kind people in this world, and I've tried to temper myself around them. Make sure that I'm not swearing too much or saying weird stuff. But I like to stir the pot and make jokes that, like, people don't think of. I'm very quick on my feet. I'm witty. And I like to say certain things, you know? A little innuendo here, a little weird stuff there. Just fun stuff, you know? Some jokes go right over people's heads, some don't. But at the end of the day, they go back on their phone, they go back to talking to their friend, and I'm left over here twiddling my thumbs. And it sucks, because, you know, I don't feel like I'm not necessarily introverted, and I'm not saying weird stuff just to get attention. I know I'm not that desperate, but I don't care enough to try. I stopped trying to talk to people. It's been a while. I've always just kind of done my own thing. Figured it out on my own. Made money on my own. Clocked in and clocked out on my own. Played music in my ears to isolate myself from others. On my breaks. Throw some buds in and start watching YouTube or something. And I've been at peace with that. I think part of it is the cope from being an only child. Met a lot of only child people that aren't necessarily as weird as me, so I guess I can't blame it on that. I guess even having a brother has its own issues, or sister, or whatever. But, you know, I feel like I'm kind of lost in life. Like I got no one around me. I know there's plenty of people around me, but I never feel like I'm truly close enough with them. Whether they don't care about me or I don't want to talk to them at all. Every interaction with them is painful. Conversation is an act for me. You know? I have to take caffeine pills and drink coffee just to go to work, but it's not just for that customer service stuff. I mean, it's talking to coworkers, it's talking about friends. Like, it is so draining for me. I wish I could fix it, and believe me, I'll tell you when I do and how to do it. And right now, my newest obsession is traveling the world. You know, I want to go all over the place. I could live homeless, I don't care. I'll figure out food. Water's always free, you just gotta find it, boil it, whatever. I've got enough money in the savings, I'd probably get by for a little bit. I guess a remote job would be freedom, but it would just be Teams meetings and Zoom calls and still having to work 8 hours a day, maybe more, to make less money probably, because a lot of remote jobs are, you know, they're data entry or something like that. And I've been thinking to myself too, like, what if I got one of those remote jobs and then I went somewhere solo and I did some hiking trips or backpacking or camping trips, or just traveled around the world with endless amounts of money, hypothetically, if I won the lottery. And I think I would still be as lonely as I am now. I don't know. I feel like I've never really been the type to make strong connections, but maybe that's all a facade. Maybe everyone else has the similar stuff. I've never been invited out to the big groups. Never tried. Maybe I need to start making more friends. But damn, I'm 21. And all I do is work. What else am I supposed to do outside of work? And really, just sucks. Even photography is lonely as hell. Maybe if I started doing portraits for people, that could be fun. I gotta get a new lens to do that though. And damn. Yeah. That's just where my head's at right now. I gotta make some food and hopefully I can find a movie or something, I don't know. Anyways, I'll catch you later. See ya.